boy KAI ONYX. I'm about to start dropping episodes like this every Sunday. I want to make this, I ain't gonna say podcast, but this is gonna be more of KAI talks with y'all. And I did a poll on my story to see what type of topics and questions people wanted me to do on this episode. So I wrote them all down. So if y'all see me looking over here, I'm just looking at the list of questions and just gonna read off one by one. But yeah, I hope y'all day blessed. Hope y'all out getting to some motion, into the bag and all that, you know what I'm saying? Rolling a spliff. So everybody, you know what I'm saying? Make sure y'all roll y'all spliff or spark y'all spliff as y'all watching this. And yeah, we gonna get into it. So the first question, what originally pushed you into music? I like that question. So to answer, I feel like what originally got me into making music probably was, honestly, this wasn't even my first passion. I was more into like playing basketball, into sports and stuff like that. But I always liked writing. But like everyone around me, per se, just like kind of thought I already rapped and stuff like that because everyone knew I wrote. But it was like one of those things I did more as a hobby. So just the constant people telling me like, yo bro, you should make a song, bro. I know you probably got something to say and little stuff like that. And then once I actually got the confidence to actually possibly do it for real, just my sister telling me, and then like one of my close friends actually like putting that confidence in me, I'm like, alright, I probably could do this seriously. So it just started from there. Then I just got in mode for real. Next question. Is there a routine that you have to keep in order to write successfully? I wouldn't necessarily say I have a routine per se to my writing. I feel like I just go in and whatever I'm feeling at the moment, that's just what I go off. Like, I don't always necessarily write all the time. Sometimes I like might freestyle to find a melody or like the cadence, what I might go for, and that's necessarily how I usually make all my hooks. Like I just go in and just start freestyling and just whatever sound good, I just build it from there. Or like sometimes I go in with like a set intention of what I'm trying to express today. So it kind of like, it juggles between of me going in prepared and then sometimes me going in based off the energy of what's in the studio or how I'm feeling or what's on my mind at that moment. But yeah, I feel like the only thing I have to keep consistent though is like I gotta be able to like really lock in and tune in, and that's part of the reasons why I like to smoke before I record, because it's like I'm able to really focus in on the moment and not overthink about too much, because yeah, I'm a chronic overthinker. But next question. Is there something you do before every show to prepare you? Facts. I gotta like literally rehearse every song and try to memorize it, because as much, I feel like for every musician, sometimes when you make a lot of music, you end up forgetting your lyrics. And like some songs, I like remember like word for word, but then some songs I kind of forget my lyrics sometimes because it's like I'm recording every day. So it's like trying to make sure them key songs I'm able to lock in and remember my lyrics. And then also, I don't like to get too high when I perform. Like when I'm recording in the studio process, I like to actually smoke, but like before I actually get on stage and perform, I don't want to smoke too much because I'm gonna be too high, I'm gonna be out of it, and I'm gonna be more so vibing with my music instead of actually trying to put on a performance. So it's trying to find that right balance, and also like doing deep breath exercises to ground myself in the moment. But yeah, heavy on the deep breath exercises though. I feel like that's probably the most clutch thing I'll be having to do before anything. Where do you want to see your music go, and what's the end goal? Trying to figure how to answer that question first. Where do I want my music to go? I feel like I just wanted to go wherever it's supposed to, and I hope that it resonates with the people that it's meant to resonate with, and I guess that find something or a way to connect with it. I ain't gonna say I want to be like the biggest artist in the world. I just want to be like the best version and the best artist I can be, in hopes that I'm able to yeah, you know what I'm saying, make some cool vibes and do some cool shit along the way. But the end goal overall though is just to like, I want my story to inspire people with like perseverance and knowing that anything is possible. Like no matter what your circumstances is, no matter what your past is, no matter what obstacles you face yourself or you got like you're faced with, that you're able to overcome it. And I feel like just with my career and through music or whatever other mediums, I hope that that's like the mantra or like the moral of it that comes from it. Who are you trying to reach with your music? Everybody who willing to listen to it. I don't really got like a necessary like I don't know. I feel like I got a target audience or people who I like interpret as people who would listen to my music, but I'm open to anybody who would resonate with. Like, I fuck with everybody. Um, what's the process of making the name for your songs or projects? I get this question a lot. Like, I don't know. For me, when it comes to naming my songs, I have a weird imagination. So sometimes I already have the name in my mind before I even write the song. I'm like, yo, this just sound cool. Like, if I picked up a book and it just had this on the title, I would want to read that. So that's kind of something I keep in mind just as like a person who like actually reading books and literature. I don't know why I said literary, but literature, and just like understanding, trying to have things that catch people's eye and stuff like that, like certain words or phrases that might be appealing or seem interesting and might actually want you to click that song, because that's what draw me into it. When I like look at an album and I look at the track list, I look at the track titles and I'm like, this sounds like it would be interesting, let me play that one first. So I try to be creative in that sense when I'm naming my songs or projects, but most of the time it really come afterwards once I make the song. Like, I gotta listen to the song a couple times and try to like see what picture or like what word pops out when I listen to it. When is your favorite time of day to create? I feel like the majority of my career has been like nighttime. I'm very much a night owl type person, like between like 12 to like 6 a.m. probably I'm up making something. But I feel like as I've gotten older and trying to be more like structured, I guess, and more organized, I try to like separate it so I don't be up all night and I'm able to, like, you know what I'm saying, function and be on my handle my adult business. But I try to it's mainly later in the day though. Like in the morning times I feel like I'm too energetic and my mind is too everywhere to sit and like focus in the studio. So I feel like my sessions would have to be like towards the end of the day, or like at least that's when I'm able to focus more and want to like be able to create, versus beginning of the day. I'm not a morning person at all. Where are you from and how does that affect your work? Well, for those who don't know, I'm from Rochester, New York, 585, Flower City, baby, you know the vibes. But how does that affect your work? I don't know. I feel like it don't really affect my work at all. I just be in my own little world doing my own stuff. But I feel like for some people it can seem as a hindrance, because the way like how people view of how the city is, especially on the music scene, it can be seen as like crabs in a barrel in a sense, or like it's a lot of talent but not much opportunity and ways to like connect that talent and like expand that to a broader audience per se. But I feel like honestly I appreciate being from the city, because like everybody here fires fucking their own way, and it's like everyone got their own story to tell in a sense, and it's like stories that's not like, I ain't gonna say unheard, but it's like a different perspective, especially coming from like a smaller city that on a like global scale not a lot of people know about. So it's like once the door finally opened for like Rochester talent to like get to shine and everybody get to like, you know what I'm saying, do that shit, it's gonna be fire. So I'm appreciative that I get to be from here. How has your style changed over time? I feel like when I first started making music, I was just making music that I ain't gonna say was hearing around me, but like that I was a fan of more so. Like I was just making songs that my favorite rappers would make in that sense, like kind of just emulating that sense, and that's kind of like what helped me like understand the lane and like really the tools. Because I feel like in order for you to be great, you got to study the great, or like who you perceive as great for whatever you're trying to do. So really just studying them and like not trying to emulate as in copy, but like take the best parts and how can I apply that to myself. So I feel like now it's like from doing that and figuring out my lane, or like how I want to deliver what I'm trying to say, and then also being confident within myself to have the ability to be vulnerable. I feel like that's what helped make my music what it is now, because before it was like I got the flow, but I ain't have like the confidence to be as vulnerable and introspective and actually say what I'm thinking in my head, versus like, yeah, I kind of don't want to say that because I don't want people to be picking my brain too much. But it's like that, it's kind of overall I feel like the vulnerability aspect changed. Like I'm just way more open and yeah, just carefree with the music. Is there a specific environment or material that's integral to your work? Nah, I don't feel like it's a specific environment or material. Probably just in a space where I'm able to focus and ground myself. I have to work well. I'm very adaptive to a lot of things, so it's something I pride myself on a little bit. It's supposed to be rolling. Tell me about your techniques for overcoming creative blocks. I don't know. That's something I struggle with early on, especially those creative blocks. But I feel like through my research and just watching other artists when they explain it, I feel like the best thing to do is when you find yourself blocked is to just do something else. Like, just don't try to force it. Whenever you hit that wall and find yourself stuck, just don't force it and just come back to it when you feel more open or inspired. And that's what usually works best, because I feel like when you work in a space of trying to like force the creativity, it's usually like friction. But when you allow it to flow, everything just works better usually. But that's in all areas of life, not just creative music, but it's a gem for y'all. What superpower would you have and why? Bro, I be saying this all the time, and I'm gonna just say it here again for the record, bro. Teleportation is a superior superpower. I know y'all what y'all gotta say. Everybody got their picks. Yeah. Teleportation is a superior superpower. That's what I'm gonna say, bro. Like, I could just pop up. Like, I could just, you feel me? I'm anywhere, bro. Like, somebody arguing with you, I'm just like, yeah, you know what? I'm out. Like, I don't want to listen no more. Or like, man, I'm just saying. There's so many ways you could use it, but teleportation, bro, like, superior. What's the best piece of advice you've given? I don't know, bro. I don't think I give good advice personally, but everyone around me thinks I give good advice. So it's like, it's subjective, because the stuff I say, it just be out of honesty, bro. And people be thinking it's like wise and woke, and it just be like, I don't even know if I'm right, bro. This is just how I was feeling, so hey. But I don't know. Probably just move at your own pace and trust yourself. I feel like, even though that's cliche, I feel like that's some sound advice. Once you like break down and, I don't know, apply it to whatever you're doing, just those, bro. Move at your own pace and trust the process. It's gonna work. How do you structure your day? It depends, like, what kind of day, because my days kind of differ. But when it's like a day where I got a lot of stuff to do, the first thing I try to do when starting my day is start it off by like being in a calm space, grounding myself. Probably wake up, some meditation, a couple push-ups, some sit-ups, something to get my heart going. Then probably, before I check my phone, do my prayers. Then probably phones, hit my emails, see what's going on with the world, see what business I got going on and stuff like that. And then I structure it and then getting into the work, try to make sure I make time for music and stuff like that, and hit the studio. Or if I don't at least hit the studio physically, I try to make sure like I'm doing something counterbalance to the music along with everything else I be doing in my life. How do you know when a work is finished or a song is finished? I don't know. I feel like every artist, everyone's different, but for myself, I just know, like, when I just ain't got nothing else to say, like, that's all I gotta say on this track, or that's all I can express right now, and I don't want to force myself to pull out more. So I feel like you just know as an artist, like, especially when you do it a lot and do it often, you know yourself, and you know, like, I ain't gonna say your limits, but you know, like, when it's time to fall off the track. That's the best way to explain it. So it comes with like time and practice. How useful has social media been for you? Social media, clutch. It's like a gift and a curse, but it's clutch because it allows you to expand and connect with people very fast and across the world, bro. It's just crazy, the concept of it. But at the same time, it can be addictive and it can be distracting. So it's like a balance of both. But I've been able to like find my balance because I don't really be on social media that much personally. I just really use it here and there just to crack jokes with my friends and shit and post my music. But just on a personal level, I be finding ways to detach and having my hiatus moments where I don't be on it for a week. Might delete my apps just so I ain't tempted to check my Twitter and Instagram and stuff like that. Just try to focus on real life things to keep me grounded and shit. Find a hobby. That's the best way. that's the most clutch way. And we back. My camera died when I was answering the one question, so I'm gonna just run that back. You know what I'm saying? The question was, describe your worst/best performance and what did you learn from this experience? I ain't gonna cap, the most embarrassing performance I did was this year. And like in the middle of one of my favorite songs, bro, if you was there, bro, you know what I'm talking about. But I forgot my verse, bro. Not only did I forget my verse, but like my mind went completely blank. Like prepping, bro, I'm like, yo, I got this. This is the part, bro. This that one part, bro. Like if I'm gonna forget any other song, that's cool. But this song, bro, how am I gonna forget this? Like, bro, this is my favorite one. I get on the stage, bro. The first half of the song, I'm killing it, bro. I'm in my bag. I'm in my rapper bag. Bro, it gets to the last verse, bro. I'm hitting it, bro. Start off the verse. I'm clean, bro. Listen, I'm clean. Bro, halfway in the verse, I forgot what word it was, but all thing I know, my mind just went, and I forgot. And then like, for like 2 seconds, I forgot I was performing, bro. And then like, once I like looked at everybody like looking at me still, and the beat still playing, I was like, oh shit. So I had to like improvise, bro. But like, that was the most awkwardest and probably the funny. It was the best performance too, but for me it was just awkward because just the cockiness of like, bro, I know I got this, like just too assured of myself, messing up, bro. It just reminds you of your human flaws, and that's something that come with the artistry and stuff like that. But overall, nobody was really tripping and everybody still was rocking with it. But for myself, I was so embarrassed, bro. I never wanted to just disappear, bro. I was like, yo, if I could teleport anytime, it'd be now. I was like, yo. But yeah, best performance though, I don't know. I feel like each time I perform, it'd be a lit performance. So they all my favorite performance. Anytime people come out to just watch me do my raps, I be hype. Like, yo, y'all fucking with me, bro. Hopefully I could make this shit lit enough that y'all want to come check some other shit out. Next question is, what's your process for dealing with performance anxiety? I don't know. That's something I get. I ain't gonna say it's anxiety, but it's like that little feeling in your stomach right before you gotta do something important. It's like, ah, damn. But the first thing I do, hit the spliff. And I don't condone everybody smoking, but for me, you know what I'm saying, I can't get too high though, because if I get too smacked, I'll be worried I'm gonna forget my lyrics. And I feel like that's what happened during that performance, but we're not gonna talk about that. But yeah, just try to mellow myself out and really do my breathing techniques and just try to ground myself in the moment and not try to overthink about nothing else besides that. And hopefully I get a best show and people fucking with it. How would you handle traveling and being away from home for an extended period of time while you are on tour? That's something I thought about. I don't know. I feel like I wouldn't know until like I experience it, so I couldn't really for sure say, because like, you don't never know nothing until you do something for the first time. So I don't know. I'm open to it though. I feel like it would be a lit and new experience, but I know for sure I'm gonna get homesick, bro. Like, y'all don't got Country Sweet, y'all don't got Boss. It's just the little things, bro. Like, if you know, you know, but it's just the little things. Does writing energize or exhaust you? That's a good question. I don't know who asked that question, but that's a good question. I feel like both, in a weird way though, because it be energizing sometimes, at least recording. Like sometimes just the feeling of like, yo, I got that out, or like, yo, that's really me. Like, I don't know, it feel like refreshing or just energizing in a sense. But the exhaustion can come from like when you really, I ain't gonna say deep, but when you really like tap into your emotions, I say, and really like let out the parts, or like tap into your shadow parts of yourself in a sense, and the little deep parts you don't really talk about. I feel like once you let that part out, it can be exhausting in a sense because it's heavy, but it like eventually becomes energizing. So I feel like it's like a transition. Like it start heavy, and then as you write and just let it out, it gets lighter and lighter until you become, you know what I'm saying, it becomes fuel. Like it's like first it's like a burden, then it becomes fuel, weirdly enough. But what is the most difficult part about your artistic process? Probably me just overthinking, me trying to be a perfectionist for sure, and me just like, yeah, trying to be in control more so, because I'm the type of person I like to do everything myself. So it's kind of like, and working at a pace that's like meant for me, because I'm like, I like to just get stuff done. I like locking to get stuff done. So I feel like for me it's just trying to find a balance and relax, and then also like really not being so critical of myself and being so hard on myself about things that's like not that deep to be hard about myself on for, or stuff that people probably wouldn't even notice or other people probably wouldn't even think about. But I feel like as an artist we all do that sometimes, and just be just extra critical. So I feel like those be like the hard parts, but that's all internal stuff that, you know what I'm saying. But yeah, I appreciate y'all for fucking with me. Next episode next Sunday, you know what I'm saying. Every Sunday Kai Talks with Kai. Might have a couple homies featured, you know what I'm saying. You don't know, just make sure y'all tap in.